All right. So today, we're going to help you get ready for this V-belt finisher interview.
Yeah,
And, it's all about precision in this job.
it is.
Making sure those belts run smoothly in all kinds of machines like
Oh, yeah.
cars and factories, you name it, farm equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be working with your hands using some pretty cool tech.
Yeah, some high-tech stuff.
But luckily for you, you've got us.
That's right.
And we've got these great resources, the V-belt Finisher Career Guide,
Yes.
the Interview Guide, and of course we've got RoleCatcher's AI platform
Your AI advantage.
to help you really nail this thing.
It's like having a whole pit crew in your corner.
I like that.
Having these resources is really going to set you apart because even though this role is pretty stable,
Yeah,
projected to grow by 4% over the next decade,
that's great.
it's still really competitive out there.
Oh, yeah.
So showing them what you know in the interview is really how you get ahead.
Absolutely. And, it's not just about knowing the job. It's
Yeah.
about showing them that you know.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get started with some of the basics here.
All right.
The Career Guide says that V-belt finishers, they have to make sure those belts are flexible,
Right.
measured perfectly, and stamped with the right information.
Yes.
Now, that might sound simple, but
Oh, it's not.
I think we both know it takes a steady hand
Absolutely.
and some serious attention to detail.
And patience. Lots of patience.
Lots of patience.
The Career Guide also has a work environment section, and
Oh, yeah.
it does a good job of painting a realistic picture of what to expect.
Yeah.
Manufacturing facilities can be noisy. They can be dusty.
For sure.
You're going to be on your feet a lot.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but it's good to be prepared.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And luckily, they also have a pros and cons section,
Of course.
which points out the high demand job stability.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, learning those technical skills,
Oh, yeah.
that's a huge plus
Big time.
because those can really take you anywhere.
Anywhere.
I think it's time to dive into some of these questions
Right. Let's do
that
it.
you might get hit with in this interview.
Okay.
Now, first up,
Mm-hmm.
describe your experience with the V-belt finishing process.
Okay, so this is where you really want to connect your past experience to what they're looking for in a V-belt finisher.
Okay.
Even if you've never done this exact job before,
Right.
have you worked with other types of machinery?
Yeah.
Have you ever had to take precise measurements or do quality control?
Mm-hmm.
Those are all transferable skills.
Yeah, those are good.
And that's what you want to highlight here.
And I bet RoleCatcher's AI can help with that.
Oh, absolutely. RoleCatcher can actually scan those job descriptions and pull out the key skills they're looking for.
Really?
Yeah, and then it helps you rewrite your resume
Wow.
so that you're speaking their language right from the start.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. What are the different types of V-belts?
Ooh, this one's a knowledge test.
Yeah, feels like it.
It is. They want to see if you've done your research.
Okay.
Luckily for you, the Career Guide lists out all the different types, like classical V-belts, narrow V-belts, banded V-belts.
Yeah.
Each one has a specific purpose, so you want to be ready to talk about that.
So for instance,
Classical V-belts.
yeah, those are the workhorses.
Okay.
Great for general power transmission.
Okay.
Banded V-belts, they're more heavy duty,
Ah.
designed to handle shock loads and vibration.
Okay. So knowing a little bit about each type
Yeah.
and when you might use them,
Yeah.
that could really impress.
Shows you're prepared.
What if they ask about a type of V-belt you've never even heard of?
Oh, gosh. Okay, well, first of all, don't try to make something up. Just be honest. You could say something like, you know what? I'm not familiar with that specific type,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm always eager to learn new things.
Yeah,
Would you mind telling me a little bit more about it?
that's great.
It shows that you're curious.
Yeah, and ready to learn.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to the next question.
How do you ensure the quality of the finished V-belts? This one feels like it's all about the details.
It is. They're looking for your process here.
Okay.
Talk about visual inspections,
Hmm.
using gauges to check dimensions,
Yeah.
knowing the signs of a faulty belt.
Okay.
The interview guide even suggests mentioning specific tools,
Oh, wow.
like calipers or micrometers.
Okay.
It shows that you know what you're doing when it comes to quality control.
Yeah, and that reminds me of something in the career guide.
Yeah.
They talk about how V-belt finishers need to be comfortable with both manual tools
Right.
and computer-controlled machinery.
Absolutely.
So being able to talk about both sides of that
Mm-hmm.
could be a win.
It shows your versatility.
Okay, question 4.
Okay.
How do you troubleshoot problems with the V-belt finishing process?
Oh, know. I feel like I've gotten this question in every interview I've ever had. It's a classic.
It's a classic.
But it's a good one. It gives you the chance to show off your problem-solving skills. And this is where that STAR method comes in.
The STAR method.
Situation, task, action, result.
Okay.
So think of a time when you faced a challenge on the job.
Right.
Maybe a machine wasn't cutting the belts to the right length or something like that.
Right.
And you had to figure out why.
Okay.
Walk them through what you did step by step.
And that's where RoleCatcher can help.
Yes. RoleCatcher has this awesome feature.
Tell me.
It's called a video practice with AI feedback.
Oh, wow.
You can actually record yourself answering these tough interview questions.
Oh, wow.
And then the AI gives you feedback.
That's great.
On everything, your content, your tone of voice, even your body language.
Oh, my gosh. That's amazing.
It's like having a mock interview with an expert, but in the comfort of your own home.
That's so much less scary.
Way less pressure.
Okay, I like that. All right, let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
How do you ensure that the V-belt finishing process is efficient?
So this one is all about thinking bigger.
Yeah.
It's not just about you individually. Right.
They want to know how you contribute to the success of the whole team.
So how do you keep things moving on the production line?
Exactly. Maybe you came up with a way to organize your workspace so that you could save time or reduce errors.
That's good.
Or maybe you spotted a bottleneck in the process and you suggested a solution. They want to see that you're not just focused on your little corner of the world.
Or you're thinking ahead.
You're a team player.
Okay, question number 6. How do you ensure that the V-belts meet the required specifications?
This one's similar to the quality question.
Yeah, it is.
But it's even more focused on following instructions precisely.
To the letter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think about those really specific requirements, those tolerances.
Okay.
Do you double-check your measurements? Do you use checklists? It's all about being meticulous.
And that probably ties back to the career guide's point about needing good hand-eye coordination.
Absolutely. Precision is key here.
Okay, last question for this part.
Okay.
How do you handle quality issues with V-belts? Oh, the dreaded mistake question.
I know nobody likes to admit that they make mistakes.
It's true, but we all do. The important thing is to show that you can own up to them and learn from them.
Okay.
So think about a time when you spotted a quality issue.
Yeah.
How did you report it? What steps did you take to fix it?
And what did you do to prevent it from happening again?
Exactly. They want to see that you're proactive,
Okay.
not just reactive.
That makes sense.
So that's it for this batch of questions.
All right, so we've covered a lot here, but we've got more coming up in the next part, so make sure you stick around.
Yes, see too.
We're going to dive even deeper.
That's right. All right, welcome back.
Okay, so we tackled some of those like really common interview questions.
Yeah.
But what about this one? Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a complex problem with V-belt finishing?
Oh, this is a good one. This is where they really want to see your problem-solving skills in action.
Okay.
And remember that STAR method we talked about? Situation, task, action, result. This is the time to use it.
Okay, so break it down for me. How do I actually use that to answer this question?
Okay, so first, set the scene. Describe the situation. What was going on? Was a machine malfunctioning? Were the belts not meeting specifications? You really want to paint a clear picture for them.
Got it.
And then talk about your task. What were you specifically responsible for doing?
Okay.
And then the action. What steps did you take to solve the problem? Did you test different settings? Did you have to consult manuals? Really walk them through your process.
Okay.
And then finally, the result. How did it turn out? Did you fix the problem? Or even if you didn't completely solve it, did you learn something valuable along the way?
Right.
They want to see that you can analyze a situation, take action, and learn from your experiences.
That makes sense. And actually practicing this kind of response with RoleCatcher's AI feedback,
yes,
that could be really helpful.
Oh, it's a game changer.
Yeah, because getting that personalized feedback on like how you're explaining it, I could see how that would make you feel a lot more confident going into the real interview.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a second
Right.
and talk about the bigger picture.
Okay.
Now, the career guide, it talks about different career stages for V-belt finishers.
Yes, it does.
So where could this role actually lead?
Well, you start at the entry level, you're mastering those core tasks.
Right.
But as you gain experience, you move into a junior role, you get more responsibilities,
Okay.
maybe even start leading small teams,
Right.
and eventually you could become a senior V-belt finisher.
Wow.
Overseeing whole operations,
That's impressive.
training new hires, troubleshooting those really complex issues,
Yeah.
really making a difference in the company.
But the career guide also mentions that, like, advancement opportunities, they might be somewhat limited in this specific role.
That is true.
So does that mean I'm stuck?
No, not at all. The skills that you learn as a V-belt finisher,
Okay.
they're valuable in so many other areas of manufacturing. Think quality control, machine maintenance, even production management.
So it's more like a stepping stone.
Exactly.
And that's where RoleCatcher could be helpful again.
Oh, for sure.
Like exploring those related job guides.
Yeah.
And seeing what else is out there.
Absolutely. And you might discover a passion for something that you didn't even know existed before.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's get back to the interview questions.
All right.
Because there are a few more that we need to cover.
Okay.
So this one always seems to come up. How do you stay up to date with the latest V-belt finishing technology and trends?
Yeah.
I don't spend all my free time reading about V-belts,
Nobody does, right?
I have other things to do.
That's okay. It's more about showing that you're curious.
Okay.
And that you want to keep learning. So, do you ever look up how things work? Or maybe you follow tech blogs or forums just out of personal interest?
Yeah, actually, I do follow a few like DIY channels online.
Perfect. See?
Would that count?
Absolutely. Talk about how those channels expose you to new tools and techniques, even if they're not specific to V-belts. It shows that you're interested in how things are made and that you're always trying to learn new things.
So it's not just about knowing everything about V-belts. It's about being a lifelong learner.
That's exactly it.
Okay, what about this question? What are your salary expectations? I hate this question.
I know it's a tough one, but the key here is to be prepared.
Okay.
Do your research beforehand.
Like how?
Look at industry averages for V-belt finishers in your area.
Where would I even find that?
Websites like Glassdoor and Indeed,
Oh,
they have salary data.
right.
And even RoleCatcher provides salary insights for specific job roles.
Ah,
So you can really tailor it.
I like that.
Yeah, and having that data is going to give you so much confidence when you're talking numbers.
Yeah, for sure. What about benefits? Is it okay to ask about those in the interview?
Absolutely. It shows that you're thinking about the whole package,
Right.
not just the paycheck. You can just say something like, I'm also interested in learning more about the benefits package offered with this position.
Simple as that.
Yeah, just keep it straightforward.
Okay, now the interview guide, it also suggests asking them some questions at the end.
Oh, yes, this is so important.
What kind of questions should I ask, though?
Well, this is your chance to show them that you're really engaged
Okay.
and genuinely interested in the company. So ask about their specific V-belt production,
Right.
their company culture, or even what opportunities for growth they offer.
But turn the tables a little bit.
Exactly. Make it a conversation.
And I remember RoleCatcher has this really cool feature.
Yes.
The company insights section.
It's a gold mine.
Yeah.
It pulls information from the company's website, their social media,
Really?
and it gives you all these talking points that you can use in the interview.
So I can walk in knowing something about their recent projects or company values?
Exactly.
That's amazing. It's all about being prepared
It is.
and showing them that you're serious about this.
Absolutely.
Welcome back for the final part of our V-belt finisher interview prep.
We've covered a lot of ground,
We have.
but I think you're ready.
I think so too.
You've got the knowledge, the skills, and hopefully now the confidence to really nail this thing.
Speaking of confidence, the interview guide has this whole section
It does.
on like what to wear,
Yeah.
how to act during the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that stuff really matters?
Oh, it matters a lot. First impressions are crucial.
Okay.
You don't need to wear a suit or anything,
Right.
but make sure your clothes are clean and presentable.
Yeah.
It shows that you're taking this opportunity seriously.
Okay.
And then, good posture, eye contact, a genuine smile. Those things go a long way.
So dress for success, but be myself.
Exactly.
Okay. I like that. Now, before we wrap up, let's hit a few more of these questions for the interview guide.
Right.
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
Ugh. I feel like every interview has that question.
Yeah, it's so cliche.
It is a classic. But there's a reason for that. It tells them a lot about how self-aware you are.
Right.
So for strengths, pick ones that are relevant to the job.
Okay.
Like attention to detail, problem solving, things like that.
Okay. And for weaknesses, the interview guide says to pick something that you're actively working on improving.
Yes. Don't just say, I'm a perfectionist.
Right. Everyone says that.
Everyone says that, and it's not really helpful.
Yeah.
Instead, talk about something specific.
Okay.
Like maybe you're trying to get better at delegating tasks, or you're taking a course to improve your computer skills.
Oh.
It shows that you're committed to growth.
So turn that weakness into a positive.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay. Any other questions we should talk about before we send our listener off?
Yeah, let's talk about why are you interested in this role?
Okay.
This one might seem really basic, but it's your chance to show them how enthusiastic you are.
Right.
Don't just say, it seems like a good job.
Yeah.
Really connect it back to your skills and your goals.
Okay.
Maybe you love working with your hands, or you're fascinated by how machines work.
Right.
And remember how we talked about how a lot of companies are investing in new V-belt technology?
Yeah.
You can even mention that you're excited to be a part of that innovation.
That's a good point. Showing that you've done your research
Yes.
on the company and the industry.
It makes a difference.
That always impresses.
It does. And don't forget about those questions that you can ask them at the end.
Right. Right.
This is where you can really shine. Show them that you're thinking beyond the basics.
Like, give me an example.
Well, you could ask about their training program
Okay.
or their company culture,
Mm-hmm.
or even something like, what are some of the biggest challenges facing V-belt finishers today?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right.
It shows you're really thinking.
You're in the know.
Okay, well, I think that about covers it.
I think so.
Any final words of wisdom?
Yeah. Just remember, prepare thoroughly.
Yeah.
Use those AI tools to your advantage. And most importantly, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You've got this.
You heard it here first, folks. Good luck out there. And even if this interview doesn't work out,
Yeah.
remember that all of these skills and insights, they're going to serve you well no matter what.
Absolutely.
And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one on the other side of the table
Yeah.
interviewing the next generation of V-belt finishers.
That's right. You could be the expert.
All right, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of V-belt finishers.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. It was fun. And we hope you found it helpful and insightful.
Yes, and remember, the journey of learning never ends.
That's true.
So stay curious, stay driven,
Yes.
and keep exploring all those amazing career possibilities out there.
Until next time, happy learning.